Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about Frank Reilly, and I'm going to start by talking about the straight view, which is the most easy view to start with, but the less common view to draw when you're actually drawing your comics or telling your story. But it's very important to learn this, like I always say, because it will teach you where to put everything, and then you will be able to turn it and all that. So Frank Reilly, you can learn his method online. If you type on YouTube how to draw the Frank Reilly face, you will find a lot of videos that will teach you how to draw this face. But I don't like teaching this face the way they do it online. I feel like it's too overwhelming and it makes things look too complicated. I have my own way of doing the Frank Reilly method that I have kind of developed over the last few years by trying to understand the Frank Reilly method, because here's what's going on nowadays in the world of concept art and drawing is they used to teach the Frank Reilly methods for people who want to draw proper anatomy, but then they realized that there are many methods that are simpler that could get the job done, and they started using those instead. I like using the Frank Reilly method and its complications because the rhythms of it are what's important to me, even though it's more complicated. But if you understand the rhythms, all those complications become much simpler. In my opinion, after trying to draw the Frank Reilly face over the years, I have realized that that the Frank Reilly method is really based on a lot of circular motion. Okay, a lot of circles and ovals that you can do in order to do this face. So what I mean by that is, if I look at this face right here right now, we will notice that I'm gonna use red, maybe it's gonna show more. There's lots of circles, right? And when they teach you to do this head, they tell you to start with a circle and then split it in half vertically and horizontally. Then you'll be able to locate the eyes and then all that. But the thing that I don't like about this approach is it's too methodical, and each one of us might want to start from a different place and all that. And the best way for us to understand how to do this face is to repeat it every day, as if it was the ride you had to take from your home to your job or your school, right? The first day you won't remember where to go exactly. You need your GPS, or you need to rely on the driver of the bus or something, right? But after a year of going back and forth to that same place, even if it's far away and there's many lefts and rights and ups and downs that you'll have to remember, you will remember every one of them because of repetition and routine. You will just remember this complex road because you repeated it so much, and you will know it so well you will almost be able to do it blindfolded. So that's what we need here with Frank Reilly. That's what we need to acquire. We need to acquire the rhythm of the lines, like it was guiding us from point A to point B. Okay. Now here's how I approach those rhythms. I try to draw the face by just focusing on circles and ellipses. I don't use straight lines because I feel that Frank Reilly is really a master of the circular motion, right? Like in graphic design, they teach us, you know, the triangle is a dangerous shape, the square is a safe shape, and the circle is a very friendly and loving shape. The most loving of all the shapes is the circle. The square is the thing you use in the logo of like a security firm or a bank. And triangle is a danger, right? The danger signs are triangular. Everything that wants to appear a little bit dangerous will have this triangular shape, will have pointy angles on each side like a triangle, because you know, everything in nature that has pointy sides is dangerous, like teeth, like claws. Everything that looks pointy has a tendency of looking sharp and dangerous, as if like a predator or something. Now, how do you use this here? What do I mean? How do I use this here? Now, Frank Reilly, his rhythms are all based on circles and ellipses, which is very like smooth and easy to go with, because you can draw the whole face without like removing your hand from the canvas. You can do it all by just sticking your hand on this canvas and following that rhythm. That's the cool thing about Frank Reilly, but it is complex. All right, so now I will start. What I like to do is I like to start with the circle, okay? And then once I do the circle, I know that in this circle the eyes are gonna be somewhere around here. But before I start simply doing the circles, I wanna keep everything in flow. So as I'm doing the circle, I continue and I do the oval that's gonna also give me the shape of the chin. And yes, my face is not gonna be perfect because I'm doing everything a little bit instinctively. So it's not gonna be precise as much as someone who's doing it with a compass and a ruler. But it is gonna have a nice rhythm, and all those imperfections I can later use to create a character that's unique. And now I'm doing ellipses that are gonna locate the eyes for me. So these two ellipses that are going from left and right on the face are surrounding the eyes that are in the middle of the circle. So if I do this eye here and eye there between those ellipses, I know that now I have placed the eye. Now it's true my eyes are a little bit lopsided, but that's okay. It's okay. I want you guys to realize that you're gonna make mistakes as you're drawing this, and that is good. It's not bad. It's bad if you think that making mistakes is bad, because then you will stop and you will feel that you need to adjust, but you don't want to adjust. You want to make the mistakes and keep going, and then repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat until those mistakes become less and less, or they become part of your style and you like those mistakes and you kind of reinforce them as part of your personality. Okay, so don't be afraid of making mistakes, and don't be afraid of repeating. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Now I'm gonna start surrounding the eyes with everything around them. Like here we have this oval that I call the donut of the mouth. If you look at this, you will see that there is an oval here that touches the base of the eyes, right, and goes all the way down to the chin. And then we have inside this circle another circle that makes a donut out of it, kind of. And this inside circle surrounds the mouth, right? And then on the bottom of this donut, we find the tip of the chin. That's kind of like creating this connection between the circle of the inside of the donut and the inside of the chin. So now I'm gonna keep going. So I did the oval, I did the donut, I did the chin. Now I'm gonna do the forehead circle. This circle is very important for us to know where the head is most circular, because the skull is most circular here, but on this side here and here it's not circular at all. It's a very flat surface. So when we place this circle here, it helps us know where the most circular part of the head is, and that will help us with the eyebrows, and that will help us with the expression, because the expression has to take into consideration that there is a bump here, and that's why we have those wrinkles here on our forehead that go up down, because they are accommodating this circular roundness here. So after I find the circle, now you can see like the face is looking, it's starting to look more like the Frank Reilly face. We still need what? The nose, the ears, the mouth, and the eyebrows as well. So I, from this point, would do the mouth. And it's so much fun because the mouth and the ears are kind of connected together. They are connected together throughout the eyes. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the eyes are like the center of the face. They are surrounded by everything. As soon as you locate them, you can find the donut, you can find the circle of the forehead, right? And now I'm gonna find the ears, which are around the same level of the eyes. They start around the same level, around here and here, and then we start with the line that's gonna go right next to the circle of the eye, and then go meet with the mouth on the edge of the inside of the donut. And then I'm gonna go with this to the other side of the donut and kind of do the same thing, and then loop it here. That's really fun to do once you know how to. And then you can again do another line that's gonna go from this point here and then envelop the bottom of the chin and then go back up to the ear, right? So now this is the top of the ear, right? And the cool thing about the ear-eye-mouth relationship is that it gives us the location of the cheekbones, right? We need to know about cheekbones in order to make a proper looking face. And that is very important, in my opinion, if you want to draw a face. And now at this point, all I gotta do is give the ears their size, you know? Like if I want to make this like an elven queen or something, I can make those ears pointy. If I want to give this person small ears, I can make those ears kind of like this. It all depends on what I want to do. And now I still have what to finish the mouth, but I'm not gonna do that until I finish the nose. And in order for me to finish the nose, I approach this face in a slightly different way that Frank Reilly does. Because I'm only using circles and ellipses, I do those shapes, not the half of them, I just do all of them, right? I just like to do them like this, which will make my guy look more like a ninja, which is cool in my opinion. But I like to do those shapes like this because I am using ellipses and circles. So this method is slightly different than the Frank Reilly method, but it is my method that I have acquired and that I use all the time. Now, if you find yourself not wanting to do it like this, that's completely fine. If you can do everything I did so far, but then at the end do this last part in your own way, I don't mind at all. You have done good. You have acquired the Frank Reilly method if you can go so far and then give it your own spin at the end. That's good. When I do this oval, I figure out where the eyebrows are. But the eyebrows, once we do the eyebrows, we also need to figure out where the inside of the eyebrow is. So once I do this, I also do another oval that gives us the inside of the eyebrow and also will help us find the nose, because it will give us the bridge of the nose. You see? Now this is different from the Frank Reilly method when it comes to surrounding the eyes at the end with the eyebrows and the nose, but it's also similar, right? You see here the circle that is giving me the bridge of the nose, right? It's kind of similar here and here. And then what I'm gonna do is very simply an oval and that oval I'm gonna put the nose in it, and then from that nose I'm gonna make the mouth. Because the thing about the nose and the mouth is once you find the nose, let's say that's my nose and these are the nostrils, I like using those nostrils and this part of the nose to make the upper lip, because they are connected. The nose and the mouth are connected. You cannot have a nose that looks a certain way without changing the shape of your mouth. They are connected. The upper lip and the mouth are connected. So you have to know that the bridge of the nose in the middle here shapes the upper lip. And then the nostrils, they shape the side of the upper lip on the left and on the right. Each one of the nostrils, depending on its size and the curve of the nostril, shapes the upper lip, and it will also dictate your wrinkles as you age. So now this upper lip here is shaped by the bridge of the nose that is here, and then I can kind of find this upper lip. This is what I'm trying to say. And a small tip about upper lips is when you're drawing the upper lip, the mouth basically in general, think that the upper lip is in darkness, the lower lip is in light, and below the lower lip you will have some darkness. Try to always do that when you're drawing a face. It doesn't always apply, because if the light is coming from below the person, then it's gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be upper lip in light, lower lip in shadow, and behind the upper lip you will have some shadow. But that means that the light is coming from below. But if the light is coming from below, usually it's a very rare occasion. It's like a horror movie setting and all that. In general, 90% of the time, the sun, the lights that we instinctively put in our places to light the place, we're gonna put them above us, because the light will fall on everything and we will see everything. We're gonna rarely want to put the light below us, because it's very counterintuitive for visibility. So most time you're gonna have shadow on the upper lip, then a shadow below the lower lip. Okay, So this is all you need to know and to do if you want to learn how to do the Frank Reilly face from straight view. Okay, guys? So now all we're gonna do is try to make an exercise out of it. Okay, so we're gonna try to do 4 faces and try to see if we can make an exercise out of it. And 1 second, I'll be right back. I just want to show you guys Corin. Okay, here's my buddy Corin. He doesn't like being carried too much, but he's the star of the show, really. I don't know if you can hear him purr, but he purrs all the time. What's up, Corin? You want to leave? Yes, he does. You know what he loves? He loves being combed. And if you look at my shorts, you will always see Corin being combed as I explain something from my videos. Because that's all he wants all day. You know the golden retriever that only wants to play with the ball all day. As soon as you throw the ball, he's gonna nag you all day to throw him the ball all the time. Corin is like this, but when it comes to being brushed, he likes being brushed all day. Alright, Corin, you can go. And I called him, I named him Master Corin because he looks like Master Corin from Dragon Ball Z. And alright, so now for the exercise, what are we going to do? We are going to do 4 circles. So now, each circle I do, I'm gonna try to do the Frank Reilly face in it, and I'm gonna try to do it as intuitively as possible in order for myself to force myself to make mistakes so that I can find a caricature face that I can have fun with and create a new character out of. Okay, so mistakes are not forced, but we do not shy from them. And we do not shy from them when we're really trying our best, not when we want to force the mistake. That's a very important nuance to understand. You have to really want to learn, basically, and then accept your mistakes. Not say, oh, I'm gonna make mistakes, so I'm gonna force my mistakes. No, your mistakes has to be your mistakes, your actual mistakes that you would do when you're actually trying your best. Alright, so here's the point. Now I'm gonna just only use circles and ellipses. So I'm gonna try to start by doing it in one full motion. You don't have to do it like I am doing it, of course, but I like to do it this way. It makes it so flowy and it forces me to make more mistakes. You feel sometimes like you're on a roller coaster. Crazy. Now I remove my arm. Now I'm gonna push this again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm gonna do this 3 more times, and the important thing if you're doing this on paper is to do it like without pressing at all, kind of like this, like I'm doing it right now. But I cannot show you an example by pressing that much on the digital format. And also the advantage that I have on the digital format is that I can lower the opacity of my layer and then draw on another layer, which is why I don't have an issue by kind of really pressing on the lines. But if you are on paper and you want to draw over this, which you want to, because these are only construction lines, you need to draw you need to get used to drawing in a construction line way. With the construction lines that you draw, you need to train yourself to draw them in a way where they are only visible basically to you. You know, there are lines that you can barely see, and if you draw like stuff around them, they will kind of pop in front of them and you won't see them anymore. This is the essence of a construction line, and the people tend to destroy their drawing as they are constructing them because they put too much weight in their construction line. Alright, so now I'm gonna do the nose. This one was a hybrid, like I didn't remove my hand at some point, but I did remove my hand at another point. So alright, so now I am gonna do the last part of this exercise and we're gonna finish this video. And now what we're gonna do is have fun with those faces that we did. So each face that I did, if you're on PC, you can just lower the opacity, put another layer on top of it, and draw. If you're not, you're gonna have to then either put another paper on top of it and try to draw what you can from there, or you have to train yourself to do very light construction lines so that you can do everything on one paper without an issue. Or you can also, if you want, use a blue pencil like they do in bande dessinée or in comic books, where they draw the storyboard in a blue light pencil, and then they draw with the normal pencil, and then they just photocopy the paper, and then you only see the dark pencil. That also kind of works if you want. So now I'm gonna try to make this guy into something. I'm gonna use a different brush, give him some hair, right? So now, for example, this line here is a great line for the hairline, and many other things, right? The ears are here. I'm gonna give him big ears because why not? And now the eyebrows are here. I can add the eyebrows here very easily. The eye is here. I can simply draw it. It's all part of that structure. The nose, I know where it is. Now let's say I don't want to do the mouth like this. I want to do it like more cartoonish. I don't have to do it like the Frank Reilly method, right? I'm just using this as for construction lines. And there is one thing I need to mention, is if you want to rely only on the Frank Reilly method, you will realize that your ears are always way more to the side that you want them to be, which will make your face look more like the face of a chimpanzee, because chimpanzees have those big ears kind of like on the side, and the eyes. And the only way to solve this issue is by, if you keep watching my videos, and if you wait until I introduce you to Andrew Loomis, because Andrew Loomis is one of the, I think, the students of Frank Reilly that later on kind of solved that issue by simplifying a few things and by taking a step back from the massive focus on this circular flow that Frank Reilly had. He's gonna kind of introduce the straight lines, the squares, and some straight lines to kind of simplify things in terms of flow, and to contain things in the right place more, so that you don't have a tendency to have a creature that looks like a human but maybe is like a chimpanzee or a gorilla, kind of like here in my case. So like this guy, he can like be turned into like a massive gorilla maybe. Anyways, whoops, I'm gonna try to do my other. See, now Corin right now is asking me to get brushed. He just likes to get brushed, even though I did it before the video, but he's gonna nag me about it. Master Corin, have patience. Alright, so now I'm gonna do another character, and I'm gonna this time try to play with the emotions. So maybe this one, I'm gonna give him anger, and like I said, maybe he can be, I'm gonna, like I said in the previous videos when I talk about hybrid emotions, I'm gonna try to give him a hybrid emotion that's going from one side to another, that has a different expression on each eye, and I'm gonna try to see how that would look. I'm giving him a kind of a horrible teeth, but why not? And slightly big ears, and curly hair, like me. Now, for example, if I want to make this guy look a bit more old, I work on the wrinkles, right? Now I am doing this very quickly, very simply, just to show you how you can use the Frank Reilly method and the mistakes you do as you are learning it to create new characters and find your style. So now what is happening? Imagine you do this every day, for example. You draw this face, you draw it horribly, and then you try to make a face out of it. Each and every day you're going to learn more how to understand this complex face that no one teaches anymore because it's too complex and because there are simpler ways of understanding. But you don't understand. If you understand the most complex thing that was created by this man, basically, that helped everybody then create another more simple version of it to help everybody understand, then you personally will have the ability to understand every method that will ever be created based on this method, because this one is the most difficult one and it's the most complex one, but actually also it has the most flow and rhythm in it. There is no like, once you reach this point now you have to do something. No, if you can kind of all learn it naturally. The flows of this method are so natural, even though they are complex, but there's a flow to them that's so natural in the way that where you can find the eye and follow it and all that. And that flow, you will lose it if you want to simplify the complexity of those circles and ellipses together. You will have to then cut this ellipses, remove them, and then say, no, let's just cut this circle in half like this and like this, put a square around this circle. And later on you will understand what I mean when I introduce you to Andrew Loomis. Okay, so try to really practice understanding the Frank Reilly method, even though it's the most complex. But if you do, you will see that every other method that came after it will become so easy to understand. Imagine, for example, you were like an artist that was brought up in the Renaissance period, right? And now you travel in time, and now you're in this time, and you see concept artists and all that and everything they do with color, and you're like, this is easy for me, I can do much better, plus I have like technologies that facilitate the work for me. You're gonna be better than probably all of the concept artists that exist today, right? Why? Because you have the base that actually helped create what we have today. So if you understand the thing that helped create what we have today, you will have an edge today. Understand? That's why it's very important to understand the origin of the thing that was created, and how, even if it became simpler to understand in time later on, and you can just understand it, if you truly want to assimilate something, not comprehend it so that you can apply it whenever you need to, but assimilate it so that you can like reinvent it, you have to do it this way. Okay, all right, so now I'm gonna keep going on the last face. I'm gonna simplify this guy or gal, I don't know, might be a gal. No, actually it looks like it can be a guy that's drinking too much coffee. He's kind of like doing this face like this. That's me after my third coffee. Now in this one I put the eyes in a totally different place than they should have been, and the nose is also much wider, but let's see what we can do with this. One eye is bigger than the other also, you know. Maybe I can make a lady out of this, I don't know. It's gonna be a weird looking lady with the eyes and everything, but we accept everybody here, we have no problem. Anyways, the point of this is just to have fun and to make mistakes as you are trying to explore, and the more you make mistakes, the more you try to explore and to find something in those mistakes that's gonna help you find your style. Okay, the mistakes of an artist are nothing but what, like the great Bob Ross used to say, happy accidents, right? These are happy accidents that you're gonna try to make something out of, and the more you do it, the more you will learn to make something out of your happy accidents. Okay, so this is all for today. I'm gonna end this video here, and in the next video we're gonna talk about the side view, and then the one after that we're gonna talk about the three-quarter view of Frank Reilly, of course. And at some point I'm gonna introduce you to Andrew Loomis so that you can understand how to make your faces look less like chimpanzees when it comes to the ears, because Frank Reilly really kind of, in his method, he spreads the ears a little bit too far apart, which makes the head look more like the head of a chimpanzee, but that's fine. So that's it for today, and we will continue with this in the next video. on the side view. See you in the next video, and thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and send me everything on my Discord group if you practice this. I would love to see your work and give you feedback. And thank you.